So, okay, we mentioned Ronnie Radke, the previous segment. If you don't know Ronnie Radke, he's in a band called Falling in Reverse, and he's known as being one of the most sort of outspoken dudes online. He's said what's been perceived as anti-trans stuff, anti-gay stuff, essentially a troll. But his band Falling in Reverse is very popular. So they had Spiritbox opening for them on a tour. And Spiritbox has been very outspoken about wanting to be inclusive to people of all genders, all sexual preferences, just really try to be a band for everyone. So a lot of their fans started getting up in their DMs and saying, hey, well, what the fuck? You're touring with Ronnie Radke. He talks shit about gay people. He talks shit about trans people. How can you do this? You sell out motherfuckers. So Spiritbox dropped off the tour. Now, in the moment, Ronnie Radke didn't say shit about it. He was like, oh, it's all good. They told me what was up. I understand, whatever. So flash forward to now, and Spiritbox have found themselves in a similar situation now that they're opening for Architects, and their guitarist, Adam Christensen, he found himself in a little bit of trouble because he had liked some posts from a guy by the name of Tim Pool, who's a controversial political figure. And they had reposted some shit from this MMA fighter, Sean Strickland, who's like one of these like, fucking real men and guns and women in the kitchen and just get fucked. Don't go to school, never learn to read.
Tame the cunt.
And yeah, so he liked one of those posts, retweeted it, and people caught on to that, and they started going to Spiritbox and saying, well, hey, what the fuck? These Architects motherfuckers, they're anti-trans. So after, I guess, word got out that this dude fucking liked this tweet, everybody started going apeshit. So Adam Christensen had to come out and, I guess, cover up his tracks or something. So he deletes the repost. He puts out a tweet that says, shit, that retweet was a total accident. I don't endorse anything that guy says other than fuck Trudeau. Sorry for the panic, everyone. Complete all thumbs moment. So that sounds reasonable. Maybe he accidentally, he fucked up. He accidentally retweeted the thing or whatever.
The devil is a motherfucking liar.
But not so fast, because the internet is a place where it's simultaneously very easy to lie, and it's also tough to keep a lie up. Now, because there's a business to rage, you want to find out why people are terrible. You want to find out, like, you want to be the one to trigger the next cancellation. You know what I'm saying? So now people go through, and it's not even what you're saying. They go start looking at like the things you retweet, the things you like, and if any of it is objectionable whatsoever, they put that shit on blast. Once Adam Christensen comes out and says, oh, sorry, my bad, y'all. Of course, everybody starts going through his shit. They start to see that he's liking all kinds of this shit, all this anti-trans stuff. And so it all starts getting blown up. The fans are going to Spiritbox. They're saying, hey, man, what the fuck? And now Ronnie Radke, Spiritbox canceled on him like a year ago. So he came out and he tweeted on the whole thing. He says, damn, is Spiritbox dropping off the Architects tour like they did mine because of transphobia?
I asked you a question, sweet ass.
Let's see it, Spiritbox. Let's see you not compromise your integrity and drop off the tour to stand in solidarity with your fans that feel unsafe. So Architects lead singer Sam Carter, he did take to the stage. He did acknowledge the whole thing head on. Here's what he had to say about it.
On this stage judges anybody for their gender, their race, and whoever they are in love with. We never have, we never will. That is not what this band stands for, and it is not what this band will ever stand for. We love every single one of you.
In terms of the online discussion, this thing is already been back and forth a bunch. Courtney LaPlante, lead singer for Spiritbox, has actually gotten involved in some of the back and forth. Shan Man comes out and says to Courtney LaPlante, trans is not a thing. It's a guy dressed as a woman. I like your music, but stay in your lane. People are not transphobic if they don't believe in the false narrative. Man and woman, respect runs both ways. And Courtney LaPlante replied, says, how about you stay in your stinky lane and don't cross into my normal person lane, and you can stop supporting my band. And of course, like I said, Ronnie Radke is all up in this. He was responding to Greg Hall, who said, the longer architects remain silent, the more unsafe the space they created for the LGBT plus community becomes. To which Ronnie Radke replied, you're such a fucking pussy. But that being said, to say that architects, by their guitarist liking a tweet, that he's created an unsafe space for LGBT plus fans.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's such an insanely over-the-top, dramatic response that it takes all credibility from what you're saying. You could say that this guitarist is a stupid asshole, or the people he's retweeting are dicks, or you could say, hey, at least we know what this fucking idiot thinks. And if you don't support that shit, don't go to the show. Different things like that. But to come out and imply that if any LGBT youth get hurt at this event, it's going to be on your hands. That's the type of shit that makes people roll their fucking eyes. If you're Spiritbox and you've taken that stand of saying, you know, we're the most inclusive band, we're not going to fucking be part of a show that features people that are transphobic or anti-LGBT plus in any way, shape, or form, when you draw such a line in the sand, you know, people don't see that in degrees. Now that you've set that precedent, now the people who make their entire life off of rage clicks and farming rage in different ways, those people, now they know that you're a motherfucker that they can manipulate with this type of shit.
Jesus H. Christ! I think you've got a heart off!
When you kowtow to really any of these extreme elements on the internet, whether you're talking about Aaron Lewis sucking balls to the far right, or you're now like Lizzo. Lizzo was a good example. Lizzo is somebody who had become a darling of the far left once it became clear that she wasn't quite living up to this insane standard they already had for her. They completely fucking chewed her up and spit her out. Now you haven't heard from that motherfucker in a long time. You're essentially dealing with inverse versions of the same thing. If you show them any sort of weakness, they will fucking seize on you. And what I mean by that is if you're Spiritbox and you say, oh, we're the most inclusive band, some people could just take that and say, wow, that's really cool of you, and just move forward. These motherfuckers are going to be the ones to hold you to a standard. And every time you do some shit that is not up to that standard, they organize a complete fucking riot against you. They're not fans of these bands. They're not people that buy tickets. They have nothing to do with the bands themselves. They're people that farm rage. They're people that look for reasons to be offended and to offend other people. So when you're kissing ass to them, it's like a hamster wheel. You're never going to get to the end. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning. If you look at this situation, Ronnie Radke, it's very different. He's the front man for that band. He's already very outspoken online to say, listen, we don't agree with the shit he's putting out there. We're going to drop off the tour. To say that that's an equivalent to the guitarist from Architects, which is one of the most faceless, boring, bland ass bands, retweeted something that you found offensive, and you see that as an equivalent, and you feel that Spiritbox needs to once again leave all this money on the table and drop off the tour. If these were real fans, you know, maybe there'd be some conversation about it or whatever, These motherfuckers are the first ones that fucking light your torches, motherfucker. It's time. It's time for Spiritbox to go down because they're sellouts. They're still on this tour, even though the guy from Architects retweeted. If Spiritbox had any integrity whatsoever, they'd drop off the tour. They'd leave all that money on the table. They'd risk getting sued for breach of contract, lest they take part in an unsafe environment, an unsafe space where LGBT kids will be tortured and killed in the crowd while Spiritbox laughs and counts their money.
Laughable, man.
It's not the case. I feel like Spiritbox fucked up in the first place by even dropping off the show. If you're them, and you're going to make this statement, hey, we're super inclusive or whatever, you should have never booked a tour with fucking Falling in Reverse. The Architects thing, who would have known? And this is so minor. Of course you shouldn't drop off. It would be a fucking moronic thing to drop off of this tour. But once again, these rage farmers, they're always going to hold you to this impossible standard that you will never be able to attain. On the internet, it could feel like a huge fervor, but in reality, it's not going to cost you any tickets. If it cost you fans, these probably weren't very involved fans because it didn't take them a lot to tell you to fuck off. If I was Spiritbox, I would not worry about it whatsoever. However, going forward, I would look at whoever the fuck is booking us. Like, you know this is an issue. Why are you booking us in these bad situations? I'm referring to the Ronnie Radke thing. Who would have known that a fucking retweet by some faceless guitarist from Architects could somehow cast the entire tour into doubt? But that seems to be what has happened. We will let you know if anything happens with this tour going forward.